equation, x cubed minus 5x squared plus 6x equals 0. We want to, it's in standard form, which means 0 on one side, decreasing powers of the variable on the other side. We factor it by first factoring out the greatest common factor, which is x. What's left is x squared minus 5x plus 6. I want to write these lines completely with the equal 0 on that side. Now I factor this trinomial. It factors into x minus 2 times x minus 3. And we have equals 0. Now I have the product of this, this, and this equal to 0. Now that will be a true statement if this is 0, or this is 0, or this is 0. So x is equal to 0 gives me one solution, or x minus 2 equals 0 gives me another solution, or x minus 3 equals 0 gives me another solution. So my solution set here is x equals 0. X minus 2 equals 0 means that x is equal to 2 when I add 2 to both sides of that equation, so I get that. And then x minus 3 equals 0 means that x is equal to 3. So there's my third solution. So I have a polynomial equation right here in standard form. I factor the left side, and then once I get it factored completely, I set each of the factors equal to 0. Each of those factors being 0 gives me one solution to the equation. Problem 2, I have 1/10 t squared minus 5 halves is equal to 0. Well, I'm not sure how to factor this, and these fractions make it a little confusing. So what I'm going to do is multiply both sides of this by 10 to remove the fractions. So I'll multiply both sides by 10. 10 times 1/10 t squared is simply t squared. 10 times 5 halves will be 25, because 2 divides into 10 5 times. Times 5 gives me 25. And then look, on the right side, 10 times 0 is still 0. So this stays in standard form when I multiply both sides by 10. Now factoring, I have t plus 5 times t minus 5 is equal to 0. If I set this factor equal to 0, I get t equal negative 5. If I set this factor equal to 0, I get t is equal to positive 5. So two solutions, 5 and negative 5. If I take either one of these numbers, replace t with them in the original equation, you'll see I'll get a true statement. Here's our next equation. 9a cubed equals 16a. Let's put it in standard form by getting 0 on this side, and I'll do that by adding negative 16a to both sides. Now I have a greatest common factor of a. I'll take it outside. A times 9a squared minus 16. I'll factor 9a squared minus 16 into 3a plus 4, 3a minus 4. If I set this factor equal to 0, I get one solution of a equals 0. If I set this factor equal to 0, I get a equal negative 4/3. And if I set this factor equal to 0, I get a third solution. A is equal to positive 4/3. So three solutions to this equation, and I find them by putting the equation in standard form, factoring the left side, and then setting each of the factors equal to 0. Here's our last example. X plus 6 times x minus 2 is equal to negative 7. To put this in standard form, I begin by multiplying these out. I'll have x squared plus 4x minus 12 is equal to negative 7. Put this in standard form by adding 7 to each side. I'll have x squared plus 4x minus 5 is equal to 0. Factor this. I have x plus 5 times x minus 1 is equal to 0. Is that right? 5 times negative 1, negative 5. Inside is 5x, outside negative 1x. They add up to 4x. If I set this factor equal to 0, I get x equal negative 5 for one solution. If I set this factor equal to 0, I get x equal 1 for my other solution. So two solutions to this equation, and again, I found them by the same method. Putting the equation in standard form, factoring the left side, setting the factors equal to 0 to find my solutions.